All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, it's Ankman here, back with another episode 42 of the Multiverse show. Guys, it's good to be back. This feels like a real episode, man. Fame's been taking a leave of absence for a little bit. He's dealing with family life and work and all that kind of stuff. And people got to do what they got to do sometimes. But we got
and he's recovering from the South Park delay again.
Oh God, we didn't talk about that. just 1 minute, a moment towards fame. Can we have a moment of silence for this man? Everything he loves is ruined. Just, I don't know. I can't get it, man. It's just like, what was it?
Oh, that's a low throw.
Think about it. He said Recore will be Game of the Year 2016. Look what happened.
He said South Park was going to be Game of the Year 2016.
No, 2016 gets delayed to 2017. And he says Game of the Year 2017 delayed to 2018.
It's not delayed to 2018.
Oh my God.
At the latest 2018. March 2018 is the latest. We will clarify that. Scalebound, like most anticipated game, canceled. Just thank God you don't like Bethesda. Thank God.
all I gotta say is developers can now start PayPaling Fame money if they don't want their game to get canceled.
That's some sabotage. Like, hey, yo, Fame, go like that game over there.
Do you remember there was a news story in America of a cat that hung around a nursing home and every person it visited died 3 days later?
I kind of remember that.
Fame is that cat.
Oh boy!
Oh man!
All right, real quick, we got to introduce the cast real quick because, jeez. All right, tonight, because I forgot him earlier in the promo tweet, we got our Sound Master General here, James.
Hello, James S. Wilson, James_S. Wilson on the tweets. I was very nearly not here as of 20 minutes ago, but I am here, and it's Valentine's Day where I am, and I'm alone.
So now we're good enough for him to be here.
Yeah, being single. It's great.
Oh, man. I'll tell you a story about being single for a minute. I was, last year, I wasn't single for Valentine's Day, and I was like, all right. And I knew this girl for maybe like 2 or 3 months. And I was like, I'm not really sure I want to, like, I'd never done Valentine's Day like that, like an actual relationship. And so I was like, 'cause it just for whatever reason, it always never really worked out to get around to Valentine's Day. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna take this girl out. We're gonna do something. And I remember I was gonna go see Deadpool. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun. But I was like, no, I don't know her that well, whether or not like that would be her kind of humor necessarily. So I'm gonna scope this thing out. So on like the 13th, before the movie came out, I went to the 9 o'clock showing and watched it early. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to see if this is a safe thing to go to. So I went and I was like, oh my God, I can't take her to this. And I was like, I can't do this. But lo and behold, right after I got out of the movie, she texted me. She told me, it's like, can we just watch Star Trek? I'm like, which one? Like, can we just start with Wrath of Khan and just like do a marathon of just watching the old Star Trek movies? I'm like, this is why I go out with you. That's the exact reason why. But anyway, the rest of the cast, we got my co-host here, Nick.
What's going on, everybody? Undead, as per usual. You can follow me on the Twitter at Undead3XVI.
All right. And we got our other co-host for the evening, Mike.
All right, I wasn't here last week, so I got to turn the camera on real quick. I got to represent for this real quick.
Oh God! Oh God! We don't want to see you naked.
Five-time.
Okay. You know what? I think I would prefer naked over the Patriots.
Don't hate, congratulate.
This is why Fame's gone.
Anyway, what's up, guys? It's Mike. You might know me from the Inner Circle Game Network. I'm a contributor on there, doing opinion pieces, and for the podcast, follow me on Twitter at MikePTruth. And let's get the show on the road, guys.
All right. We got lots of stuff to go on. Also, I want to say, Hail Hydra. Everyone's sending me your Hail Hydra tweets with your Hydra gear. I love it. The only reason why
did I miss the memo here?
No, for the last year or so, I've had this like this heavy keychain, like a die-cast Hydra symbol, and I just had it on there, and so I just took a picture of it for whatever reason. I just like I just took a picture of it and I put it up there, and so actually Len, or Cal, as you guys know him from one of the leaders of Tick Podcast, he was like, shake my head, and I'm just like, you're one to talk. Last set up Planet PlayStation. So it turned out to this little war. It's just so much fun. But everyone's sending me their Hail Hydra gear, and I'm like, let's go for it. But yeah, it's just been fun. Also, we do need to let you guys know there are a couple of giveaways going on. This is what Fame normally does, but now, guys, there are 2 giveaways going on right now. We're giving out a Nintendo Switch. If you want to find out how to win that, there's a link in the description below to an article on TICGN. Find out how to win. It is dope. Do it. We actually just gave out our the Xbox One giveaway. We just gave that out. I don't remember off the top of my head who won. I think it was like Maximilian something. But he won, and congratulations to him. I know Fane would have said it himself on the podcast, but it's just scheduling. So, also, the other thing is, do you want to win a copy of most played game on Xbox? No, it's not GTA 5. No, it's not Call of Duty. And no, it is not Roblox. It is Rainbow Six Siege with the comeback. Rainbow Six Siege out of nowhere. The game that launched in 2015 and could not break the top 10 most played games in 2015 on Xbox is now number 3 list.
It was always really good. That's why.
I've never seen a game over the course of 2 years go to the top 5. I've never seen that happen. And normally just everything dwindles over time. This has actually grown.
It's the opposite of Evolve.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Evolve. We don't talk about it. We don't look at it. You don't speak of it.
That game had a lot of potential, though. I got to give it.
Well, the thing is, the game it should have been is the game that it became 2 years too late.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the sad part about it. But
Rainbow Six Siege is really good fun. It is.
Oh man, it's a blast! Like, I think one of our writers, actually, I think 2 of our writers nominated it for Game of 2016.
Wow!
They actually nominated it. Like, it was better to them more than all the games in 2016.
It's good. I wouldn't say
it's not that good. Come on.
I mean, it's no Witcher 3, but but yeah, get that drink started. So. But yeah, we got a lot of topics to talk about, man. We got to split. I'm just so distracted though. There's lots of stuff to talk about. So, first thing on the docket. Let's talk about Swamp Thing. So, Mike, tell us what happened earlier today about Swamp Thing and what your thoughts were.
So, when they first announced that Swamp Thing was going to be Injustice, I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of cool, because I remember the Swamp Thing cartoon when I was a kid. Or not the cartoon, the TV show. And it's funny, after they'd made the announcement, I Googled it, and I never realized that Swamp Thing was a DC character until today. I mean, I'm not really up on all my comics knowledge and things like that, but I was just surprising to me. And then I got to thinking, kind of funny, that if they're going to go back that far and put Swamp Thing in the game, then they might as well just put, like, Captain Planet in there and everything. Ball up a piece of garbage, ball up a piece of paper and throw it at him. Take like half his health.
All right. Wait, anyone else impression of Swamp Thing? Anyone care? Anyone heard of Swamp Thing before this?
I only know Swamp Thing because of do you guys know Screen Junkies?
Yes.
The guys in McDonald's trailers. They have a series called Movie Fights, and there was a running gag. They wanted to see how many weeks in a row they could mention Swamp Thing. And that's the only reason I know about him. And I've heard rumors that Wes Craven tried to make a Swamp Thing horror film in the late 80s. That's all I really know.
I think that actually happened, but I'm not sure it's Wes Craven.
I don't know. Welcome to
1982.
People Look Things Up.
I'm looking up right now. You got a 5.4 out of 10.
It was Wes Craven.
Yeah, it was Wes Craven. You're right. It's a weird movie. It's definitely weird. What about you, Nick? You care about this guy? You never heard of him?
Not really ever heard of him, and I'm probably not going to pick up Injustice 2, but been kind of enjoying seeing how it's really hard when you make superhero fighting games to keep the to have a really expansive cast, like in Street Fighter and everything. They can just make a character and just cut and paste it in, but with the superhero fighting games, it's kind of interesting to watch DC pull things from their back catalog and kind of leave people anyone who's my age or younger is probably sitting there going, "The what now?" But for a lot of people, it's nostalgia, right? And it's a great thing. The more characters they have in a fighting game, the better. So it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, because Nick, you and I are the same age. I'm 23. I mean, we're this around the same age. I had heard of the Swamp Thing, but I'm also a weird dude. I heard of a lot of weird stuff. But I mean, Swamp Thing, in terms of the DC universe, is C-list at best. He's right up there with Animal Man and Elongated Man, or The Question, really.
There's a superhero named Elongated Man. That's the weirdest name, bizarre name for a superhero. Elongated Man.
Elongated Man, hiding in Ron Jeremy's pants since 1990.
With his bride-to-be foreshortened woman.
Actually, his wife is dead. I know that.
I wonder why. Gotta keep it PG, TV 14.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing you gotta understand about DC. They're main dudes who were created in DC, your Batman, Superman, Flash, your main solid, rock solid Justice League cast. And those are okay, these are the top dudes. These are A-list dudes. And then behind that, you got the B-list guys. We're talking Shazam or Captain Marvel would be considered a B-list guy.
I still want to say Batman is the weirdest superhero.
No, not that weird. I mean, there's plenty of weird, eccentric ability.
No, because man dresses up as Bat, has no powers apart from the power of money. He's awesome, and everybody loves Batman because he's really cool. He's still weird. Anyway, carry on.
I was going to say Robin's more weird just because he runs around in tights behind the guy with all the armor and the money. But, we'll move on from that.
Yeah. Both weird. A-list dudes. You got your A-list dudes, your key Justice League dudes. Then you got your B-level guys like Firestorm. There's a bunch of weird guys like this. You see them around, like Steel, Mr. Terrific. This is not a crazy thing. But then you got your C-list dudes been in that range. But I think Swamp Thing came out the same time as Man Thing over at Marvel. I mean, it's a normal thing for them. They always had back-to-back guys. They go within a couple of months of each other. The thing is with Man Thing, they both became this spiritual related kind of type. I don't read a lot of Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing kind of became this guardian of life mysticism thing. It's complicated. If you go watch the gameplay for him, he's just calling up trees could sprout anywhere, and he has feathery angel wings, not feathery, vegetation angel wings. It's it's just Man Thing, on the other hand, became the exact opposite. Man Thing's another swamp-based creature made of stuff. He actually feeds on fear, and actually, I believe, has a portal to I think it's the negative zone inside of.
I call bullshit on that guy.
Man Thing's crazy. It's weird. It's just weird.
I think Swamp Thing is only around because they wanted to have a really cool swamp zone to fight in Injustice.
All right, fair enough.
I was going to say one more thing real quick. I don't mean to get too off topic, but Resident Evil 7, right? Speaking of comic book influences in video games, how much in Resident Evil 7 do the molded remind you of like symbiote creatures, like Venom and Carnage? Because that was the first vibe I got when I seen them.
Can I just? I've now finished Resident Evil, and I'm gonna put if something comes out that's better than that game this year, I'm gonna be surprised. Out of the gate.
By the way, I just sent you guys a picture of Elongated Man.
Well, let me see.
In both costumes. So
What
the hell?
What if I could tell you his actual name? It's Ralph Dibny.
Oh my god.
It's just a random name.
So what's his deal? Is he like a bootleg Mr. Fantastic or something?
Actually, yes. But the thing is with DC, they created weird heroes to catch up with Marvel, and Marvel did the same thing to DC. That's inevitable. But DC, the one thing that makes them stand out is they bought out their competition. Any of the small characters that like they felt like they didn't need, or like, okay, this is our competition, let's buy them out and just incorporate them into our society. They did that. Like the Question and Elongated Man, I believe, were in the same purchase. But the thing is with this one, like that's actually the whole issue with Captain Marvel, honestly, and that's a very long story I'd rather not get into right now. I mean, DC bought out a lot of their competition, and that's one of those things. Like, they actually have Plastic Man, who fulfilled the same role. It was like, oh, well, we were bought out Elongated Man, and so they basically made him so Plastic Man was like a child idiot. I can turn to Blake. He had Mr. Fantastic, which was a genius, but they made Elongated Man into this a sleuth kind of character. He didn't really use his powers so much to do crazy things as much as it's like, okay, slide under a door to get evidence and clues. Or like basically use his powers like silly putty to get like people's like fingerprints. It's kind of cool.
I'm just laughing at his name, Elongated Man. I can't get over that.
I'm just looking at this picture and go, he's got to be really popular with the ladies.
If you want to see this picture, check out the Multiverse Show Twitter feed.
We need to move on.
Can I just say, you're really tempting me to play the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, but I'm not going to.
Restraint, man, restraint.
Literally, everything you say, Senior Dildo, bomb, 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 bomb. It's just so tempting.
All right, so anyway, moving on to the topics, because Swamp Thing can't hold a conversation that well. One of the things that came out today with choices. All right, let's actually talk about something that happened over the weekend.
Powerless.
Was it?
The TV show Powerless.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you about that. You also saw Legion, right?
I have not seen Legion. Matt Singleton did. He did the review.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen the show yet.
Let's start with Powerless first.
Yeah, so Powerless. At Comic-Con, at San Diego Comic-Con, the first episode was premiered, and it was about it was set in the DC world, but it wasn't set in the film world or the Arrowverse. It was completely separate, but they talked about Batman, the Flash, Superman, and all that. Anyway, focused on the R&D division of Wayne Enterprises, making gadgets and stuff for Batman, but they don't know it. But it would the original pilot focused on them selling insurance to normal people, like against superheroes. So if a superhero smashes up your building, you're fine. However, the plot and premise completely changed for the TV premiere, which turned out to be them just making gadgets. And Vanessa Hudgens playing the boss, and she's a real go-getter, but doesn't understand that you can't be a boss and a friend. And it's just you can tell that it was nearly something really good, and then became something not that good. We're two episodes in. It is better than the first episode. The second episode has got better because it's trying so hard, and it's not funny. When they try to be really funny, it's not funny, and when they're just talking like normal people, it's quite fun. It's a really weird show right now.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And by all accounts, Legion is the weirdest show ever made.
Yeah. We were talking about C and D-list characters. Legion's like
isn't he Xavier's son?
Yeah, Charles Xavier's son, who's psychotic, and like appears maybe twice. Like I don't even remember any other times he's actually shown up in the Marvel universe.
But I think this is brilliant. I think you should always try and make a TV show or a film about a character that nobody knows about, because then you can do whatever the hell you want. No one's going to question you. Let's look at the best example of this. Iron Man.
Yeah.
No one was going to go to Jon Favreau. It's like, that's not how you do Iron Man. Because nobody knows.
You're right. I'll give you that. You're right on that. You pick a character no one has any real investment in, make changes that are necessary, make them compelling, you're done.
This is why
I've
said this before. This is why the DC universe should have started with a Suicide Squad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the most notable character in that film is probably Harley Quinn.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Anyway, so I want to talk about something like I want to come back to that a little bit later. I actually got some breaking news I want to get to, but first I want to talk about something that happened over the weekend. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. It started actually on the last episode of Tick Podcast. We weren't sure what was going on about 2 weeks ago. It came out that actually it was the first time I ever heard of it. And the situation that had occurred was that CI Games, the Polish developer, had decided in their infinite wisdom that if you pre-ordered their game, you were going to get the season pass for free, which is a great business practice, by the way. I'm totally down for that. That's an actual worthwhile pre-order incentive. Like the actual, if you have the balls to pre-order anything, I mean that is commitment. Like that is real commitment based on nothing. At least you're getting rewarded for it. And the thing that occurred was that it was revealed that if you pre-ordered on PlayStation or PS4 or PC, you would get the season pass for free. No problems, no questions asked. Done. However, if you pre-ordered on Xbox, you could not get the season pass edition. You got this limited edition, which was like a third of the content in the season pass, and you got all this content. However, if you wanted the same content that was being available for free from PC and PS4, you had to spend $30 more on the season pass. So this was a big contention point. I made a big deal out of this. I know a lot of the Xbox community made a big deal out of this. And we pointed out a lot of problems with this, saying it could set precedent for worse things. A lot of people are very upfront, like they didn't care about the game. Like me personally, I cared about the game as far as I needed a summer title to play, and I wasn't going to buy it day one, but I was going to get it later. And I didn't like this practice in and of itself, and I wanted answers. To this day, they have not given any answer for why, but they have backtracked officially on this. They have backed off, and they said, okay, the season pass will be made available to Xbox One owners, same deal as PlayStation and PC. And this was after, I think it was like 2 days after Phil Spencer said he was going to look into it. So, real quick, I want to kind of get everyone's impressions of this situation. First, what do you think of what happened initially, and do you think the actions of CI Games was enough or adequate? So, let's start with Mike. Mike, you there? Hello?
He was taken out by a sniper.
Oh no! That game sniped him. All right, Nick.
I don't know. Like, I will be 100% upfront. This game was not on my radar. I did not really care. It was really not on my radar. And I started paying attention to it when one of my friends on was like, hey, you should pre-order Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 because you get the Seasons Pass for free. And my friend plays on PlayStation. I was like, Seasons Pass for free? That's a pretty good deal for a $70 game. Like, that's not bad. So I started looking into it. And then when I looked into it on the Xbox version, that wasn't the same deal you were getting for the pre-order. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I thought, well, maybe it's just maybe PS4 paid for some exclusivity or whatever. I was talking to one of my PC friends, and he was like, oh, I got the Seasons Pass too. I said, that's really weird because when PlayStation gets exclusive content, it's usually additional content and not locking people out of other content. And it was really weird the PC had it too. So it was on PC and PlayStation, which automatically meant that PlayStation wasn't fronting any money for it. And then I saw your tweets about it, about how it was the different versions of the side-by-side and everything else. It just really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't care about this game. I don't care about it even though they've changed how they're going to release this game. What really bugged me is the precedent it's setting. And a lot more people would have been outraged about this is if Xbox had gotten it exclusively. If PS guys and PC guys hadn't got the Seasons Pass for pre-ordering, there would have been a lot more of an uproar than it was now, because a lot of things I remember tweeting out about this and being like, it's wrong. On a multi-plat game, if I'm paying $70 and you're paying $70 and we have two different consoles, unless there's additional content that was paid for by Sony or Microsoft, we should get the exact same copy of the game, in my opinion. Multi-plats should not have locked content that you cannot play unless you're on one specific system. Like, if I pay $69.99 for the game and you pay $69.99 for the game, we should both have the same content. If there's additional content available that is paid for by Microsoft or Sony, then fine, whatever, I can live with that. But restricting content is a scary, scary trend. I'm really glad they stepped back on it, because that could have been a very scary precedent going forward if we allowed game companies to hold back gameplay or missions or anything from a fan base simply for the hell of it. As far as we know, there was no money exchanging hands for this exclusivity, and in my opinion, if you're having a multi-platform game, everyone should have the same content.
I agree.
Period. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree. I'm back, by the way. I was just stunned for a little bit. I didn't get sniped. My Super Bowl champions had absorbed the bullet. I was just stunned for a little bit. But I totally agree with you. And I was one of the ones when this news first came out, I was more outspoken about it. And I saw that, and I thought this had to be Sony paying for exclusive content, because it just didn't make sense for the developer and the publisher themselves to do that. Because I'm thinking, well, where is the business sense with this move if they're voluntarily holding content off of another platform? Like, kind of like what Nick was saying. And I'm glad Sony wasn't involved. I'm actually happy about that. And, you know, one of the things that I heard a lot of people saying was, well, why is everybody making such a big deal out of this? It's not like anybody was really planning on buying it anyway. It was a more obscure game. And that was never the point, because that was something that was unprecedented. I mean, we've seen timed exclusivity on games like Rise of the Tomb Raider, for example. We've seen timed exclusive DLC like map packs in Call of Duty or Destiny DLC and things like that. But this is the first time that I can recall that they were actually withholding content from another platform, and you had to pay more if you were on that platform to get that content. So I'm glad they backtracked on it. What's scary to me is that if Phil Spencer didn't say anything, do they backtrack on it? That's I think is the question, because if Phil didn't call him on it, they probably wouldn't have backtracked. At least I don't think they would have.
Mm-hmm.
I think I find it more disturbing more of a wider range aspect is the fact that I remember seeing the tweet that someone tweeted to Phil Spencer about this whole thing. This had already blown up for about a week and a half at this point. And he acted like it was his first time hearing it. I find that more disturbing, or is that how far under the radar this game is? And what I find even more disturbing is that it looks like that the developers may have done this all as a publicity stunt because of low pre-orders on Xbox. That's the rumor that I saw quite a few news sources going with, is that they pulled this stunt on Xbox because Xbox pre-orders were low. So by riling up people about it, they got the word out about the game more. And now when they flip it back, oh, look, okay, so here's the season pass. People are going to be like, oh, well, we've looked into the game now and everything else. Oh, maybe we'll buy it. That is scary to me. Period. End of story. I will not support a company that sits there and plays, I'm not going to say emotional games, but don't try and mess around with my money. Basically, if you screw me once, I am not going to put money into your company anymore. Period. End of story.
It's an interesting school of thought. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting was that, holy crap, I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'll come back to it.
But yeah, I actually saw someone, I think it was Jez Corden from Windows Central, actually brought up a point. He said he thinks it's professional trolling, that studios who do not get that much attention will resort to doing this kind of thing more often. And the key thing being, they will actively decide to do something that'll piss off one community to get that attention, to get the controversy, so they can have the support later. And I think it backfired initially, because Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, first of all, is a very misleading title. Like, people were confused as hell what game we're talking about here. We're talking about a game that has the key thing of Sniper in the title. When Sniper Elite 4 is coming out tonight, which I will be playing, not just that, but then you have the title Ghost in there as well, and Ghost Recon's coming out next month. I mean, it's confusing as hell to anyone else. Like, imagine, like, some games do this on purpose. Like, especially back in the 90s. Was it?
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
The Kingdom Hearts titles. We've had this conversation before, but I'll say it again. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD Final Chapter Prologue.
No sense.
I remember what I was going to say. And there was some talk about that the developer for this game, CI Games, doesn't really like Xbox because they've referred to it as the X-Bone in the past. And I think that's whatever. That's neither here nor there. But if they truly didn't like the Xbox platform, my thing is, why would they even put their game on Xbox to begin with?
Money.
Because they want money.
If it's just going
to... Let me regularly do it.
Well, then, by that case, why isn't a game like Nier going to be on Xbox One then?
Because they want, because they have integrity.
At least that much. But I think that one was more along the lines of them deciding that. I think Sony actually paid for that. So we're Nier Automata.
Yeah, I was going to say Nier is actually.
Oh, did that?
Yeah, that wasn't like just an arbitrarily decided thing. It was a paid game. You know, Platinum Games, the new Capcom.
See, I was going to say, that's what, with a lot of games right now, especially when you see it, PlayStation and PS4 and PC releases, if it's only on those two platforms, PlayStation usually has a finger in helping fund the development, which I have no problem with. If PlayStation wants to front money to develop a game, that's cool, because watching big companies invest in smaller games and getting them out to a wider audience is really cool. And I can understand why PlayStation wouldn't want to put money into a game to have it release on Xbox. I 100% get that. But to just ignore one platform, and there is no way, I do not care what anyone says, there is no way Sony is funding Sniper Ghost Warrior 3.
No.
There was nobody.
Those graphics.
I've watched gameplay videos of this game, and it honestly looks like COD 4 Master, and it looks like it's being played on a 360. So obviously they're not getting a ton of money from Sony to do this. So I think they were trying to hype up their game, and I think it backfired majorly for them, because even though they've gone back on their word and they may get some pre-orders out of it, they've just made their studio look bad.
Yeah, you basically pissed off the Xbox faithful to the point they're not going to support you at all. I mean, like I'm at the point where, keep in mind, I was one who was going to buy this game initially. That wasn't going to be day one, but I was going to buy it down the line. I buy my games digitally, so they were going to get money from me. And I'm sitting here at the point of, I want an explanation for this. I'm not going to settle just for, oh, well, we fixed it now, buy it. Like, no, I want an answer. Because this wasn't a mistake. It clearly was not a mistake. It was an actual choice by them to do so. And it just... they really screwed up, and I will not buy the game until they give an explanation. It could be a bad explanation, but at least attempt something. Like,
see, that's the kind of thing you want to do. Is like, my biggest problem with developers, and this is more of a branching issue I've seen, is I'll buy games, I'll support developers if they stick to their original thing. Don't think because a couple months down the road you change it, I'm not going to remember what you originally said. I'm going to bring this into something I know. I remember, I think I saw Mike tweeting about it, was COD 4 Remaster.
Yes, I was hoping we'd talk about it.
Okay, so before I bought this game, I didn't pre-order this game. I did not buy this game day one. But before this game came out, they initially said there was going to be no supply drops in the remaster.
Yep, only
cosmetic. And then when the game,
yep,
they were like, "Oh, well, there's cosmetic supply drops." I'm going back a bit. This was when they said there was going to be no supply drops in the remaster at all. And then when it came out, they're like, "Well, there's going to be cosmetic ones." And people were like, "Well, okay, you know what? There's a couple of like melee weapons and everything else. No one really cares about the custom melee weapons. They don't do more damage. No stupid crap like that." So it was pretty irrelevant. And now they're starting to do supply drop guns and everything else.
In Modern Warfare Remastered.
In the remaster. And I'm sitting there going, no. Okay, Activision, like, there's so much wrong with that business model. And there's so much I hate about that business model ever since they came out with the supply drops in Advanced Warfare. But the problem is they make so much money from it. There's no way they would say no to it. I can't remember if it was Black Ops 3 or I can't remember if it was Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare, but they literally made more money off supply drops than they did the actual game.
I believe it.
There's guys that I work with that they only play Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like the one guy I work with, he's dropped at least $800 into Infinite Warfare supply drops. Why? It's
yeah, I mean, I totally believe it. I don't know if any of you guys in here follow Fisticuffs, but he's a really good Call of Duty player. He's been in the Call of Duty scene for a long time. And I remember when Black Ops 3 first came out, like within that first week, he made a video where he said that he dropped like $400 on supply drops because he was trying to get the wrench. And Drifter, who's another big time YouTuber in the Call of Duty community, he made a video when this first happened, when there was going to be supply drop guns in Modern Warfare Remastered. He makes a good point where he's like, this was supposed to be a bonus game. Like, this was not intended to be the selling point of the package. It was just, if you buy this Legacy Edition, you're getting Modern Warfare Remastered as a bonus. So it's just, I don't know. I don't agree with it at all. I don't support that kind of business model. Overwatch is fine because Overwatch is just cosmetic and some of them are cool. But when you start putting weapons and guns and supply drops and you uneven the playing field, that's a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm. Especially because I think they realize that their game is not performing, and like they're just trying to find something that could take over. Because just keep in mind, I'm looking here on Xbox, and Infinite Warfare is not overtaking Black Ops 3. It's like number 8 on the most played list, and Black Ops 3 is like in the top 5 still. It has yet to take over anything. That's really disturbing. Like, it's like, really, man, like that's, I don't know, like that is unheard of, where the prior Call of Duty could not overtake the past. That's insane. I can't I can't believe that.
Yeah, because gamers hate nostalgia.
Yeah. So
Well,
also
see-
one of the things I wanted to bring up earlier was we were talking about Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Sniper Elite capitalized on that. Their screw up. They came out and announced, like, it was like the next day. They're like, oh, by the way, if you pre-order on either PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, everyone gets free content.
Yeah, it was an open goal.
Like they capitalized on it, and as a lot of people saw, Xbox gamers claimed allegiance to Sniper Elite 4 out of nowhere. Like, man, I mean, I'm glad it's getting support. I like Sniper Elite. I'm waiting for midnight to play it. So, like, I'm excited for it personally. But
It's
I'm
getting
also
some
excited for it.
reviews,
It's
too,
proper
from what I've
sniping.
seen.
hold up, James.
I was just saying, I realized Sniper Elite 4 because it's like proper sniping. This stupid Call of Duty quick scoping stuff. It's really annoying because that's not how you use sniper rifles. It really annoys me.
Mike, go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think from what I've seen, Sniper Elite 4 is getting some pretty decent review scores too, which is promising.
Yeah, I mean, actually, let's take a look real quick. I have not taken a look beyond what I saw this morning. Let us take a look at the Metacritic, not for the actual score, but just to see what the spread is. It's sitting at a 78, actually, 78, which is pretty decent.
Bad.
I mean, I'm not expecting much. Like that's the thing. Like I realized this over the last year, and I'll say this again. I am a AA gamer. I like these games that are not technically AAA titles, but they do a lot with what they have, where they have a small enough budget where they got to do something unique to be attractive, but then at the same time they have the budget where the graphics and the production value is high enough. Like they don't play it safe or rely on brand name as much as they do. Hey, we got a decent game coming out here. Check it out.
I'm exactly the same way with films.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was the whole conversation.
Oh, I was waiting for more.
Put it up for someone. I was like, all right, yeah.
No, I just didn't want to repeat exactly what you said. Okay, fine. Well, I don't like. Franchise and unnecessary films always annoyed me.
Mm-hmm.
Not all films need sequels. That's all I gotta say on that. It's the same thing. All
Yeah,
games
I
don't
mean,
need sequels.
even the good sequels. I mean, Toy Story 3 is better than 2, but both are unnecessary.
Yeah.
Any Disney film does not need a second film. That's all I gotta say.
Some do. Some do. Wreck-It Ralph does.
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
All right. The lowest score for Sniper Elite is a 70.
So
That's
far.
for the push square.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple places that gave it a 70. I mean, Video Gamer, Push Square, Trusted Reviews, Game Rant, Multiplayer.it gave it a 73, and then everyone else is 75 or above.
Who was the company that gave Resident Evil a 4.5?
I don't know.
I remember there was one outfit. Everyone else was giving it like 7, 8s, 9s. I think we gave it a 9.5. Anyway, but there's one company was just they gave it a 4.5 for the exact same reasons that everybody was giving it 8s. It was a really weird thing to read.
Didn't they
Kept
give
saying-
it a 4.5 because it was too scary? Wasn't that one of the
No, it was something like, oh, they switched the camera and they made it back to the original game.
They unironically gave it a low score.
Yeah, they accidentally understood the game
Holy
perfectly.
crap! Two. All right. I know we don't like saying the term fake news, but this has got to be fake news.
Oh, I love it.
Okay,
Alternative facts. Here we go.
Here's an idea. Okay, so here's the split on Resident Evil 7. I'm looking on, I think, a PlayStation version because that's the one that gets the most reviews. The current split is out of 92 critics, 82 give it a positive, which is 75 or higher. 4 give it less than that. So you got your Gaming Age, Digital Spy, IGN, GameSpot, the usual guys. So on the low end, I'm trying to take a look right now. The Escapist gave it an 80. Giant Bomb 80. Let's see. And then all of a sudden, IGN gave it a 77.
Yeah, I didn't get that because I've
gave it a
met
70.
people from my.
Video Gamer gave it a 70. But then the Washington Post and Time Magazine gave it a 50.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was Time. That's who it was.
You know what? To be brutally honest, sat there and I've looked like the local Toronto paper reviewed Uncharted 4. And this is to give you an idea of why this is why newspapers and like media that doesn't deal with games a lot should not cover games like Forbes, Time, and etc. They gave it a 5 out of 10. They gave Uncharted 4 a 5 out of 10 because they said the storytelling was bland, the gameplay was boring, and the characters weren't really well developed. What?
Like, can we all agree, though, everyone watching this, Time Magazine and Washington Post, things that would not be considered fake news in real life, should not be considered real news for video games.
100%.
Whenever I see someone share an article and they're like, "Oh, this is 100% facts," I'm like, "It's from Forbes or Time."
I'll give Forbes a pass because Paul Tassi does a pretty good job on their video game division. I'll give them a pass, even though in the past I have not liked Forbes. I will give them a pass just because of Paul Tassi, but everyone else, no, I can't give a pass to them. Like, Paul Tassi knows what he's talking about. I'll give him that much. But the others, but
a while ago, we were talking about Sniper Ghost Warrior.
Yeah. All right. We got one more topic for the evening. We got to move to. We have way too many topics for tonight, by the way. Forgot about the breaking news part. By the way, so John Compea, who works for Collider, got us a quote-unquote not scoop regarding the Batman movie. We should talk about this on the show, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where he has, who is it called? Ben Affleck has stepped down from directing the movie. There is a rumor currently. This is from John Campea. There's actually
pretty the one that he doesn't want to be in the movie at all.
Yeah, a rumor that he wants to quit the DC Extended Universe entirely, and that he's laid down the gauntlet, saying, "You're either gonna do one of two things: either I get to quit now and get out of my contract, or I quit after the Batman movie." And if I were DC, I'd let him quit now, before he's in anything else. Just totally redo everything. Delay Justice League another year. Do whatever you got to do. Like, just completely restart, or not completely restart. At least completely restart with Batman. Find someone else, or kill him off in Justice League. Like, he sacrifices himself for Superman to come back. Something, anything. Like, anything to save that franchise. But like, do it as soon as you can so you can get a replacement quickly to take that role. And so people will have that guy longer. Because if it's true that he wants out and he's leaving after a Batman movie, DC can't set up a universe around that.
Yeah, they're finished. They're
they
finished
can't.
if this happens.
Like, that is an ultimatum DC cannot do. Like, that would be the equivalent of Robert Downey Jr. quitting. Like, right after Avengers 1.
Which nearly happened, actually.
Yeah, which nearly happened, but it didn't. So, but like, then having to find a new Tony Stark. Like, that's never going to happen. Like, that's huge. If that is true, the DCEU is done.
I think it would be easier to find a new Bruce Wayne and Batman than Tony Stark, personally. But I do agree that this is what we've all felt for a long time, because DC have not made a good live action movie in these series of films. They just haven't. The last good DC movie was actually Lego Batman, but the last one before that was The Dark Knight. It's been 10 years since a really good DC film. That says a lot. By comparison, Iron Man came out in 2008. So they've had time to see how it's done, and they've still messed it up. Someone needs to lose their job at DC, and that person should be Zack Snyder. It shouldn't be Ben Affleck.
Now, the downside too, I'll say two things about it. The downside is if he leaves, Affleck will have the stigma for the rest of his life as the man who killed the DC Extended Universe.
But it
won't be Zack Snyder. It'll be Ben Affleck. But also, if I were DC and trying to pivot, here's what I'd do. Take Ben Affleck on a bluff. Say, all right, you can stay. You're going to stay till Batman. We're going to keep you here. And we're going to do everything because he's contractually obligated to do, I think, the Justice League movie and the Batman movie. And the only thing they could say is, all right, totally rework the Batman movie. Totally rescript it. Extend it out another year. So you still have him. Have him die. And have the movie focus around the missing Robin. And have him come back as Nightwing instead. Because they've established it's Dick Grayson who died and not what's his name?
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd. It was a T. I almost said Taylor. But like it's not Jason Todd, it's Dick Grayson.
Wait, wasn't Jason the one who died?
Yes, exactly. But basically you change it off to say, okay, Dick Grayson was the one who died in this universe. So you change it so he's alive, but he's Nightwing. And kill off Batman entirely and have Nightwing come in and perform the Batman function. You can hire a totally new actor. You get so much street cred from all the superhero guys who have not seen Nightwing in a movie before and have been dying for one. You could get so much street cred all of a sudden. That would be huge. And it would be a great pivot to get Affleck out and have a new guy come in. Or even if you wanted to, you could just have him take over as Batman. Dick Grayson is now Batman. That would be smart. And you could get away with it. You could hire any actor you wanted.
I think we're all just a bit tired of DC.
See, I'm not tired of DC. I'm just tired of Warner Brothers. I want DC to do so well. I can think of so many great ways to make a good movie, but they can't do it because Zack Snyder still has his hands on it. And like I said, we've said this before and we'll say it again. It'll be the ultimate rule. You didn't do the work for the foundation. You wanted an Avengers movie without doing the groundwork.
It's very true. It's very true.
Sad. Anyway.
Sad.
Last topic. We're waiting to get to this one. So, Pete Hines, who works for Bethesda, is giving out hints again. And it hurts my soul. Because I can't see it. And I want to see it so bad. Pete Hines was on a stream with Kind of Funny Gamescast, like Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty's deal. And Pete Hines works for Bethesda. He's like one of the lead guys. And he has a quote that says, "Machine Games, the creators of Wolfenstein, The New Order, have been hard at work on something that I can tell you I've played. And it is effing bananas. And I can't wait to show what it actually is." And he's just dropping this. And it's just, I'm dying, man. I need to see it. I need it. I was like a crack addict, man.
You know what the best part about
Wolfenstein?
You know what the best part about this rumor is? They pushed Prey to a closer release date because they wanted to release something big in the fall.
I don't know if it's Machine Games that's dropping in the fall. I don't know. Like with the new Colossus, I don't know if that's true. But either way, I'm excited, man. I got the shivers. I got the shakes. I need it. I need it now. Because that Wolfenstein was like proto Doom, like in terms of the new Doom. I mean, it was. I still remember good long segments of that game and playing through both stealth and action. Like I remember the big one was I upgraded my dual wielding shotguns to have ricochet shots that shot shards of metal at people, and I was standing in a submarine shooting these, bouncing off walls and killing off numerous people with high fire rate shotguns. I was freaking out. It's so good.
That's proper video games.
Oh my god.
That's video games to make your mother sad.
Yeah. You know what though? Something that Bethesda and what they've really been doing is they've taken games that were old games like Doom, Wolfenstein. Like there was a Wolfenstein game on 360. We're not going to talk about it. But they've taken really old games and modernized them. Like the way Doom was done was so well done. It was modernized so well compared to how they modernized Duke Nukem.
Yep.
The game is beautiful, and they've just been like Prey. Like I've watched that trailer. Like it's in my most watched videos. I think I've watched that trailer like 30, 40 times now. It's like one of my most anticipated games of this year. Like there's so much that could be hyped, and there's so much right with these games. Like I beat Wolfenstein New Order on 360. I'm now replaying it on Xbox One. I got it again just to play it because it's such a good game. And like the fact that you have different ways you can play it too. Like you can play it stealthy. You can go through with throwing knives, and like there were so many different ways you could do it. It was just great. And if it releases,
like just leading you along like Dishonored, where Dishonored is meant to be played in. Well, Dishonored 1 is meant to be played stealthy entirely, but you can get away with playing it, and it punishes you for playing it loud. But like Wolfenstein was truly, you could go either way. Like the maps were not designed for one way over another. Like it was balanced. It was great. What I'm saying was, it is great. What am I saying?
I wouldn't say Dishonored is designed for stealth. It's not. It's not like Metal Gear is designed for stealth.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Dishonored 1, I would say. Dishonored 2, I could see you going either way. Like personally.
Well, Dishonored 2 gives you all the guns. That's the thing.
Mm.
And the original Dishonored, it is a stealth game, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Mm. I mean, I don't know. It's all ultimately up to it. Anything else you guys want to talk about tonight? Before anything else, you guys excited for a possible Wolfenstein? Mike,
I've never played one, so.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I thought the New Order was great. That was one of my favorite games of 2014. The New Order, the one that I didn't play. I think it was the New Blood or the First Blood that I didn't play. But this one I would definitely be interested in. One of the things that I think is cool is that in the articles talking about the rumor, they're showing like this promotional image, and the Colossus and the promotional images looks like Nazi Galactus. That's kind of like the vibe that I get from them.
Oh gosh, that was from New Order.
Oh, okay.
That was from New Order. Like that, man. You gotta play New Order, and that's like dirt cheap too. Like you can find it real cheap, and it's really good.
Actually, I don't.
Blood is probably even better.
I don't know if they have the bundle deal in the UK or not, but you might be able to find it online. I was at my local game store, and they had Wolfenstein plus the Old Blood expansion for $30, I think.
That's good price.
And like the standalone DLC, if you buy digitally, like the standalone expansion is, I think, 24 digitally, so it's not a bad deal. Or if you had hindsight, it was $5 a piece that on the Christmas sale there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I picked up both.
They're both damn good games. Like they really are. Just amazing stuff.
Well, if they're like Doom, then I probably will find them fun.
Oh yes, they're like Doom, but with optional stealth is the thing. Like if you want to, like one of the things I loved to do was like you go in, find an officer, you sneak in to assassinate him, and then just go totally bananas, just throwing grenades left and right, and just basically coming from the rear. Like you would sneak all the way through the guards and then kill the guy in the back, and then just coming from the back and just destroy everybody on the way and going back to where you started. It's just amazing. It was so much fun. But yeah,
video games.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Anyway, guys, it's been a good show. Thank you everybody for showing up. It's been a blast. Remember, go and follow us on Multiverse Show on Twitter. It's just one word. Go follow us over there on that Twitter account. Remember, we are giving out Rainbow Six Siege. Will be available. You guys can find that on Twitter. I also have a link in the description of the video. You guys can check that out. We also are giving away a Nintendo Switch. Remember to go check that out as well. There's a link in the description of the video. Please, please, please go check out that giveaway. I can't beg you anymore. Also, let's do our outros real quick. Nick?
Oh, thanks for having me on the show. It's good to be back on the podcast. You can follow me at Undead3XVI on Twitter, and you'll be able to find me on Twitch on maybe Friday. I start vacation, so I might do a live stream with the wife on Friday night, so stick around for that.
All right. James?
Yes, hello, and very good to be on again. It's sort of become a ritual. I stay up until 1 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. I'm so tired. At James_S Wilson to come at me for I'm completely frazzled right now. At James_S Wilson, come talk to me about Facebook. No, oh my god, damn it.
Facebook on Twitter.
I like Radiohead, I like movies, and I also guested on a podcast last week for Big Red Barrel on their Geek Speak, where I talked about iZombie for a very long time.
All right. And Mike?
All right, guys. This is Mike. It's great to be part of the on the podcast. Again, blown. Now I can't talk. Thanks, James. Anyway, follow me on Twitter, Mike P. The Truth. Check me out on the Inner Circle, TICGN.com. And it was a great show. Thank you guys for tuning in.
All right, and thanks. Forgive me for eating dinner. Sorry, I was trying to sneak that in. My bad. Sorry for everybody.
You reprehensible human being.
Sorry, my bad. I beg forgiveness. If you want your revenge, you're gonna have to find me on the Sniper Elite 4 Battlegrounds. By the way, I do want to mention Sniper Elite 4. All the multiplayer content of the season pass is actually free without the season pass. All the multiplayer stuff is free. There's going to be single player DLC that they're adding, and you do need the season pass for that. But any content for the multiplayer is free for everybody who buys the game. So please,
and also keep a lookout. Keep a lookout too. Sniper Elite usually has really good DLC. It's the only game I can honestly say where I got to shoot Hitler in the testicles.
Yep. Oh, by the way, that's free if you pre-order too.
Awesome.
Oh, did you get the double testicle shot?
Yes.
Oh my god, that is hard too. You got to time it just right. You got to hit him right from the side angle. It is.
I can honestly say I spent like 2 hours trying to do that.
Oh my gosh.
And people wonder why gamers are lonely.
They're in the balls. All right. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. Remember, this is the Multiverse Show, episode 42. Check us out and everything else if it's important. We'll see you guys later.
Hitler's